Hello and welcome to another Simple Stories Theater with your host, Joshua Motes. And today is a special Simple Stories Theater, because I am dedicating this one to my girlfriend, Jessica. It is our 1-year anniversary, actually, and so I thought it would be nice if I, dedicate it to her. And I dedicate it to all you people, too. But mostly her. Don't you ever take this away from her. If you dare ever think you're more dedicated in this video, I'm gonna do something. Not really, probably not. But she is the most dedicated person in this video. Oh, and also I'm wearing my bowler hat today, and my head is itchy. But I decided, why not wear a bowler hat? Maybe that'll be fun. One thing I've discovered through trying to do this one video like 5,000 times, I am not good at coming up with romantic crap on the spot. I need to write it out first. So I'm sorry it's not going to be romantic, but I'm going to do what I think I can do the best, and that is funny, dark, and strange. And so I'm going to do one I have not improvised, actually. One that I planned out a little beforehand. So I hope you don't mind. You shouldn't mind. I think it'll be good. So this one, I'm trying to think of what this one will be called. Maybe I should think up these titles beforehand. Yes, good idea, Joshua Motes. Do that beforehand. Anyway, I'm going to call this one Carnival Craze, because that just sounds like a cool title. Anyway, one day there was a little boy jumping around having so much fun because he was at the carnival, and the carnival was so terrific. He saw the elephants doing their elephant dances, and he saw the clowns, and they were throwing pies at each other, and they splat, and they were all just this. But the best part about this trip, he thought, was going to be the fortune teller. Yes. Oh, a fortune teller / magician, as he saw on the tent in front of him. Yes, this magician / fortune teller would probably, make him a king or something. Or give him $1 million. Or, make his awful little sister disappear forever. Something amazing. So he begged his parents to go. I want to go to that tent so I can hear what's gonna happen to me. His parents were like, oh, alright, you kid, just go. And the kid's like, yay! And he ran into the tent, and he burst through the tent opening, and he got to the front desk where there was an old man, but we'll get to him. And he was like, tell me my fortune, tell me my fortune, tell me my fortune. And of course, the fortune teller, he was a little strange, just like a lot of people are. And, I don't know, he seemed like he had nice intentions. I mean, he had a very long, thick beard. He was kind of old, kind of kooky. He had his eye and he twitched like this a little bit all the time. But, he seemed nice enough, right? He's like, hi, kid. So you want me to tell you your fortune, do you? Maybe grant you a magical wish. And the boy was like, yes, please, anything, I would love it. And the fortune teller was like, I foresee a handful of candy in your future. And the boy was like, a handful of candy? How can this happen? And the fortune teller was like, well, maybe if you just curl your hand and open it again, something magical will happen. And the boy did so. Sorry, my cat yawned. Yeah, she wants to be in the video. No, we can't let her be in. Sorry. Anyway, back to this. He curled his hand, and he felt something growing powerful inside. And he opened again, and a handful of candy appeared. And then he was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing that has ever happened. You really are magical. He's like, well, of course I'm magical. I don't just open a tent to scam people or anything. Well, that would make me a horrible person. And the kid was like, I don't care about you being insincere. All I care about is candy. And so he took candy, yum, 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 it up. And he was happy and hyper. He's like, I want another fortune, another fortune, another fortune. And the old fortune teller is like, well, alright, if you say so. I foresee another thing in your future. And his eyes were starting to glow red. Whenever he cast a magical spell, his eyes would glow red. The kid saw that the first time, so he was quite excited again. And the fortune teller is like, I foresee your parents getting stomped to death by elephants. And the boy is like, that doesn't sound like a good fortune. He's like, oh, come on, what are the possibilities that will happen? And then zap! Outside, there was a big thundering roar, and there was stomping and stomping, and everyone was starting to scream, oh, no, how could this happen? And the boy, flustered by all the noise he was hearing, he went back to the tent's opening, opened it up, peered outside, and he saw his parents dead, a pool of blood around them. They had been squashed by a giant elephant that was standing right next to him. And he started to cry, Mom, Dad! And he was about to go run after them, but suddenly the tent opening closed, and he tried his hardest to get out, but he just couldn't. He didn't have the strength. And he looked back to the fortune teller. He was like, where do you think you're going, kid? I'm not gonna let you leave until you give me $100. And the boy's like, I'm not gonna give you $100. You killed my parents. He's like, well, as you wish. I foresee another thing in your future. And the kid was like, no, please, stop. And he's like, well, you can give me $100. He's like, no, I don't, I just, no. And the fortune teller's like, well, I foresee your dog getting run over by 10 cars, getting utterly crushed, her bones cracking, and her painful cry sounding in the wind. And the wizard suddenly, revealed a screen behind him, and he turned it on with his remote control, and it was a picture of his dog running playfully down the street. And then it suddenly got run over by 10 cars, and it went, and the boy, he was bawling at this point. Like, no! He's like, well, you brought this upon yourself, little boy. Your doggy is dead because of you. All of his bones and life squashed right out of him because of you. And the boy's like, no, you did this. You did this. He's like, you didn't give me $100. I think you're the one who did this to yourself. And the boy was like, oh, just stop. And the fortune teller was like, well, are you going to give me $100 now? I will stop if you just give me $100. And the boy's like, oh. And the magician just took that as no, because he didn't respond fast enough. So he's like, well, okay, here you go. I'm gonna give your best friend super depressing thoughts that's gonna drive him to suicide, and it's gonna be all your fault. And zap! He changed the channel, and it went to his best friend ever, who was just like, oh, why do I feel sad all of a sudden? I just feel this incredible hurt inside me. I want it to stop. And the boy just jumped off a cliff, a cliff, not a clip, a cliff, and impaled himself on a spike on the ground below. And the boy was like, no, stop it here. And he handed the magician fortune teller guy $100. And the fortune teller was like, hey, yes, nice doing business with you, kid. You can go now. And he opened the tent. But then suddenly, the magician, fortune teller, his eyes didn't twitch anymore, because something strange had been happened. The boy was no longer there. Instead, there was a CIA agent right there. He had been impersonating a little boy the whole time. And he had a gun out, and he was like, hold it right there. I've been investigating you for a long time, Mr. Magician Fortune Teller. And I know the crimes you've committed against humanity. And I've come to stop you doing that, because you're bad. Yeah. He's like, you impersonated a little boy? And he's like, yes, I did. And you may be wondering about all the people that you killed. Well, they didn't actually die. In fact, those were just cardboard cutouts of people. Da da da. And the magician fortune teller is like, how does that really work? And the CIA agent's like, I don't know. But I have you cornered now, and you're going to pay for your crimes against humanity. And the fortune teller magician was like, oh, you think you have me cornered, do you? Well, you don't, 'cause I poisoned that candy you ate in the beginning. And the CIA agent's like, oh, no, how could you do this to me? And the fortune teller magician is like, well, just in case somehow you outsmarted me, I outsmarted you. And the CIA agent's like, oh my god, now I'm gonna die. But then the other guy was like, well, if you don't kill me and you just leave me be, I will give you the antidote when you return to your house, and everything will be alright. And the CIA agent, he was left with a horrible decision. Would he let this horrible, horrible criminal go without, facing his crimes? Or would he shoot him right there on the spot? And after a long time of contemplating, he looked up, he pointed his gun, and he fired. And it hit the fortune teller magician, and his brain splattered right on the back of the tent. And he collapsed and died. And the CIA agent's like, the life of many is more precious than the life of one. Because I guess he was trying to quote someone but didn't do it correctly. And he fell and died too. And in the end, the carnival was a great success. And no one really knew that the whole thing was happening between the fortune teller and the CIA agent, because the tent mysteriously disappeared when they died. So everything was happy and okay. Yay! The end. I hope you enjoyed this Simple Stories Theater. And I hope you enjoyed it, Jessica, because I dedicated it to you. And happy 1-year anniversary! I hope to do many more Simple Stories Theaters in my future. And for this anniversary resolution, even though that doesn't really exist, I don't know, I'm debating. Maybe I'll actually stop improvising so much. I'm not really that good at improvisation. But maybe, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll probably do more actually written down, kind of rehearsed stories before the improvised ones. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Now, I shall say goodbye. I love you all. Especially you, Jessica. Now, goodbye.